What's up everybody, I'm Mike Noward, and today we're back at WorkBrow talking about thumbs and the importance of getting our form filled out properly from the start. Today I'm going to walk you through our measurements and our form step by step. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there who may wonder to themselves, why do we even need a form? The challenge, in all honesty, is just the sheer math of the possible configurations out there. From machine making models to different classes, stick lengths, coupler options, and the variety of buckets there are out there, the variations are seemingly endless. So this is why this form is so critical. It's going to ensure that we build an attachment that fits your customer's machine perfectly the first time, every time. First, we suggest burning an inch. When measuring two surfaces like the inside ear spacing, the tape measure hook can cause some inaccuracies. Start by measuring at 1 inch and then subtract that inch from your final reading. This eliminates hook play and gives you a lot more accurate of a measurement. The second thing we suggest is measuring twice. Compare the measurements, and if they don't match, try again. Keep the tape flat and straight. It's super important to avoid any sagging or twisting of the tape. When measuring diameters like pins, we suggest to use calipers, especially on those small round surfaces. First thing we ask for is a photo. We want you to stand back approximately 10 feet from the attachment and take a clear side profile picture of the bucket straight on. This is going to give our engineering team visual confirmation of the coupler configuration and overall setup. Next, we're going to need you to find our thumb form online. Please fill out your contact information, name, email, phone number, business name, and if you're working on a quote for a thumb, include that quote number as well. Under coupler profile and pivot dimensions, you'll need several key measurements. These measurements, as with all the measurements we're going to be asking for, need to be accurate within 1/8 of an inch. First, we're going to ask you for your A measurement, which we're referencing the form. Measure the widest point of the ears. This is going to be the overall width of the total ear from side to side. Secondly, this is your B measurement, the pin retainer ear total width. Measure across the ear that has the pin retention system. Thirdly is going to be your C measurement. That's going to be the non-pin retainer ear total width, or the opposite ear without the pin retention system. Fourth, this is your D measurement. Find the inside ear spacing. That's going to be the distance between the inside faces of both ears. Fifth, and finally, this is your E measurement, which is the pin retainer width edge to the ear plate, from the outside edge of your pin retainer to the ear plate surface. Please make sure that you take your A measurement and make sure that within 1/8 of an inch, B plus C plus D match. Primarily, this is going to be used to determine the length needed for the thumb. For tip radius measurements, we need 3 dimensions. First, the tip radius of the coupler and the bucket combined, which is going to be labeled CR on our thumb form. The arc from the pivot point to the cutting edge. Secondly, the tip radius of just the bucket, which is going to be noted as BR on our form. This is measuring essentially just the bucket portion of that measurement. Third, the tip radius of the bucket to the base edge, which is listed as BER on our form. This is going to help us determine cutting geometry. In the bucket tooth information section, you're going to notice we include a diagram that we describe as a narrow tine option versus a wide tine option. This determines how you want the tines on the thumb to fall around the teeth of the bucket. This is something that's going to impact how we lay out your tines for your thumb, and we base it on your personal preferences. In this section, the first thing we need you to do is select the number of teeth on the bucket. Based on that selection, it's going to give you which measurements we need on your bucket teeth spacing. For all options, we're looking for essentially the same thing. We're looking for the spacing between each tooth and the width of the teeth themselves. Please make sure that when you add up the dimensions, it equals the total width of the teeth. Starting with the machine in the fully crowded or transport position, we're going to take 3 specific points, 12, 24, and 36 inches from our reference point, which is going to be the pivot point between the boom and the arm. These incremental measurements help us understand the machine's geometry and ensure proper clearance.
Once you have your measurements on your boom, you're going to transfer those same measurements down to the arm or the stick, 12, 24, and 36 inches. From there, we're going to take a point from the boom and a point from the arm, both at 12 inches, 24, and 36. And those measurements are going to represent your SA, SB, and SC, which are referenced on your thumb form.
Finally, we ask for the machine's stick length, which is measured from the pivot pin to the crowded point. Once you've completed all these sections, double check your measurements and submit the form. Our engineering team reviews every submission before manufacturing begins. Remember, accurate measurements mean no delays, no rework, and happy customers. That's the WorkBrowse standard. If you have any questions or you want to know more, please reach out to us or contact our technical support team today. We're here to help.